Hello. So today we're going to be talking about feeding picky eaters healthier meals. So today you'll learn these practical strategies from myself, how to make things more balanced for your family. This video covers a lot about getting your kids to eat more protein, more vegetables, the right carbohydrates, because that's usually a problem, and healthier fats as well, and using these real solutions for families. So hi, I'm Bethany. I am the founder of Nutritious and Delicious, and I've worked as a health nurse previously. So now I am a certified holistic nutritional consultant, and I'm also a mom of two boys as well myself. So I get the struggle. I know how hard it is. And we get so many families coming in saying, how are we going to get our kids to eat healthier? They're so picky. And I've heard this numerous times over and over again. So I've got some really good solutions for you here today. And this is going to help with implementing these into your family life. And I've also done this with my kids too. So I know these strategies work as well. And we've used them with lots of many clients as well to get these in, not just for young kids, but also for older kids too. So let's get started. So our first step is number one is getting kids to eat more protein. So I hear this often where kids are kind of a little bit picky with their food. They're like, I don't like protein. The parents aren't really sure how to get more in. So this is about finding more creative ways to add more protein if like kids are hesitant. So what I usually suggest is try swapping out for vegan protein instead. So this could just be something simple like hummus with crackers, which is really good, or whipping up a smoothie with protein powder in it. And that usually I would suggest putting gluten-free, a dairy-free protein powder and nothing with artificial sugar. So we can talk more about that as well if we're on a call. And also, if meat is a texture issue, this is usually where I suggest maybe cutting the meat actually off the bone itself, or adding it to familiar foods that kids are used to, like gravy or ketchup, so they can sort of put it with something that they already like. Another one for protein as well is masking the protein so kids will sort of accept it, like I sort of mentioned with the sauces. But this could also include things like adding it to pasta sauce as well. Also, if it's like fish, you could do fish with like a heavy cream sauce, like something that they would normally like, something cheesy, creamy, heavy. Or even doing something different in terms of like roasting the protein on a barbecue or roasting it in the oven. And even just adding a little bit of like maple syrup or honey on that protein to sweeten it up. It almost crisps it into like a candied like protein as well. So that's really good because then kids are sort of picking at that, going, oh, it tastes like sugar, but you don't put a lot on for them. Now, step number two is eating more vegetables. These are like the biggest struggles, not just with children, but I find with adults too sometimes. Is veggies often a really big struggle, usually because the vegetables, not many people know how to cook with them. They taste a little bit more bitter, but there are ways to make them more appealing and to get them into your diet as well. So this one I actually did myself. It was quite funny. But I grated zucchini into burgers for my boys because they hate zucchini. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this zucchini in. So one day I just made homemade burgers, used ground meat, and I grated the zucchini into the burgers, mixed it in with a couple of other spices. You can also do this for meatballs, and if you're going to roll them up and cook them as well. And it makes it extra tender and nutritious. And it was funny because I asked my boys after they finished their burger, they're like, we love these burgers. They were so good. They were so juicy. I'm like, well, did you enjoy them? They're like, yeah, we did. And then they said, I said, well, I added zucchini to them. And they were like, what? How did you do that? So they said, we didn't even taste it. But even just simply doing that, adding it into the food, it makes it super simple. And it's not a big deal as well. Obviously, at the dinner table. Another one as well is mushrooms, because it seems to be a texture thing for a lot of kids. My boys are included in that one as well. So this one is where you chop the mushrooms finely up and you can put them into like a pasta sauce. That's a really good way of kind of getting mushrooms in as well. And they don't notice. And I've had that as well where they've had portobello mushrooms in pasta sauce. Ask them at the end and they're like, oh, I didn't even know that was in there. Like it tasted really good. Like we hate mushrooms. How did that happen? So with vegetables as well, another trick to get more veggies into even in your own diet as well is roasting them. Roasting them in a pan with a little bit of oil makes them a little bit sweeter and crispier. And it's also a good way to sort of put them on a plate, and then kids can add like their own ranch dip or ketchup, just to make it like more into like fun finger foods and stuff, and getting them in early with these things as well. Number three, step three. This is about choosing better carbohydrates. Now, when I say carbohydrates, it's not usually an issue to get kids to eat cereals, breads, pastas, crackers, and all the, sugary goodness out there, because a lot of the kids' foods are packaged towards like characters, Marvel, Disney, all that kind of stuff. And kids are usually gravitating towards like what's on the box. Is it entertaining? Is it looking fun? What's the color? Like what does it smell like? Does it represent sort of more candy like? And this is also where manufacturers are putting things on kids' levels as well when you go grocery shopping. So just keep in mind that is what they do as well, just to kind of get your kids to pick things up and be like, I want this, I want this. But the issue I have with the carbohydrates is the kids are usually typically eating the wrong type of carbohydrates. Now, we want to focus more on whole foods, and these can include things like yams, potatoes, root veggies like carrots, turnips, beets, and even fruits. And we're kind of missing that. We're eating the boxed, processed kind of carbohydrates, like I said, cereals, breads, pastas, all that kind of stuff. So, a suggestion on this is I usually would say take your kids to the grocery store with you. I know it can be hard sometimes, but even if you just do it once in a while, take them to the grocery store and maybe get them to pick out either a new vegetable or a new fruit that they want to try. And this is going to be something where they're going to want to do this themselves. So you can help them roast it, bake it into a pie, add it to salad, maybe ask them how they want to do it. Because what we find is the kids who are helping choose the fruits or vegetables or preparing them into the food, obviously age appropriate, and you're going to be watching them too, are more likely to eat this because they have more confidence and more pride in what they picked, what they chose, and how they also prepared it too. So that was also a really good one for me in terms of my second kid. He would not eat salads for the longest time. And until I got him to actually make it, he was about 3, so we just kind of put stuff in front of him. Obviously gave him like a blunt knife and was watching, but he basically got to pick all the things that went into the salad, got to choose the salad dressing that we could make, and he started eating salads after that. So it's more about like how we kind of incorporate our kids versus having that battle at the dinner table with them. So step number 4, this is our last step, is encouraging healthy fats. So healthy fats obviously are essential to brain health for children because they're obviously developing, they're learning, they're growing. But it also, the one thing parents miss out on this one is it also keeps their nervous system calmer. So when parents come to me and they're like, my kids are so off the wall, or they can't concentrate, or they're just all over the place, and then they're crashing later in the day, it's usually because they don't really have a very balanced way of eating as well, and they don't have enough healthy fat in their daily diet. So if your kid's bouncing off the wall, we definitely need to increase these healthy fats as well. So a couple of tips on that is try drizzling some olive oil over veggies that have already been cooked. So olive oil, we don't want to cook with olive oil because it has a low smoke point, meaning like it will burn very quickly if you heat it up. So you want to roast your vegetables and then put the olive oil over top so it stays nice and warm. And then also, peanut butter is a great one too. This one I want to be careful with because people buy the commercial peanut butter. You just want it to say like roasted peanuts. If it says icing sugar, which is in a lot of peanut butter, unfortunately, that's what makes the peanut butter a smooth consistency and obviously sweet. So look at the ingredient label on your peanut butter. First of all, that's the first thing I usually mention to parents because they will add sugar into it and you don't want that because you don't want them hyper. So I would always suggest like just a plain peanut butter, 100% roasted nuts, adding that to smoothies, or you could put that on peanut butter on toast, and you can add some sliced fresh strawberries on top of that as well for your kiddos. Another one too is also making your own salad dressing with flax oil. So flax oil, again, you can't really heat it up. It's got to stay cold. It's got to be something that stays in the fridge, and it's a healthier way to make salad dressings, which is really easy. Instead of buying the pre-made salad dressings themselves, a lot of the pre-made salad dressings, use things like canola oil, and a lot of oils that are kind of overly manufactured, and they're not really healthy for our bodies as well. So I always suggest try and make your salad dressing at home. And then also adding things like avocado slices. If your kids like avocados, you could slice them up, put them on sandwiches, put them on toast. Or another one is mashing the avocado and using it as a dip for corn chips. Like this, kids love anything sort of like picking, snacking, anything that they can sort of like scoop, that is a dip. So that's another way to get it in. Another way to get healthy fats as well, this is also for yourself, is trail mix is handy for those busy days, and keeping them in your purse, keeping them in your car for cranky kids and also cranky adults. Because there's always times, you've gone somewhere, you've done some sport activity, you've gone to the gym yourself, and you're in a pinch and you don't have maybe some food in the car. I would always just leave them in the car, and then we have a couple of baggies of healthy trail mix in there as well. So thank you so much for coming and watching this. And the right approach is involving obviously everybody to incorporate this for picky eaters, right? So, getting your kids involved, making sure that, you're looking at what do you have in terms of proteins that your kids will eat, the carbohydrates, maybe trying something new with them, making your own salad dressing. So you can take all these tips and just pick and choose and see what works for your family. But just making those small changes, it makes it more enjoyable, more nutritious, and less battles at the dinner time table, which is where a lot of parents come to me and say they really struggle with ideas, and also like convincing their kids or family members to eat something healthier. So if you find this helpful for yourself, which has worked really well for our family as well, please like and subscribe the video, and you'll get more videos like this from YouTube. And also, just to let you know, if you are interested, we do have a monthly parent group call, and we're going to talk about more nutritious things like this, helping you feed your family healthier, coming together as the parents and talking about this. And I'm going to be leading those group calls as well. So if you want to do that, sign up to our wait list using the form in the description below. And thank you so much, and stay tuned in good health.